listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Couldn't remember the song, couldn't remember me.
Who am I?
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. I'm with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text us on 8 12 15. Or you can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Or you can email the Absolute Radio website. I think the first time you do these things should be clear. After it's all right to be, to bang them out. But let's just establish who we are and how to get in touch with us.
8 12 15.
The morning started well. We've got banana muffins. I showed you a card once sent to me by a celebrity who shall remain nameless. But let's hope I never show anyone else that card.
I'm absolutely astonished. That's a whole exciting television court case waiting to happen.
It really is.
Yes, banana muffin, absolutely lovely. And
that's not a euphemism for who the card is from, by the way.
No, it's not from like someone in the adult film industry. No, if you're worried, if you're just entered the adult film industry and you're looking for a name, that is still available. Don't worry.
Surely that depends on your pet and your mum's maiden name being Muffin, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. We'll just break the mode. That's what it's all about. Doing something different. You could be the James Joyce's Ulysses of the adult film industry. We're talking about the adult film industry. It's just barely gone 8 o'clock, for goodness sake.
I never started it.
No, I can't remember it. I suppose it's Victorian, was it?
Yeah.
When did the moving picture commence?
Oh, thanks for looking at me when you asked that.
I thought you were weren't you in that early stuff? I can see you tied to a railway track.
Yeah, I did some work with D.W. Griffiths.
Ah, yes. He was a bit dodgy.
Yes, he was.
Anyway, rabbits.
Is that what we started with? D.W. Griffiths was a bit dodgy.
That's not who sent me the card, FYI.
Absolute 30s.
No, exactly. Let's not drag him into this.
No.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
What about rabbits?
Isn't that what you're supposed to do on the first day of a month that begins with R? Have I got it wrong?
Oh.
First day of the month. M. Hang on, have I got...
If it's got an R in it, you're supposed to say rabbits on the first day.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. Maybe
I don't know these regional games. In London, we just said, it's March, come on, let's go and make some money.
Oh, no. Is this a religion thing? I don't know.
No,
see, what happens if you're
I wrote
religious.
my journal. Well, I didn't write my journal, because obviously that would take a tremendous amount of foresight. But I wrote on the page, today's page this morning, why rabbits, ? Which would be an interesting one when historians discover my journal and think I was some sort of quite reckless naturalist who asked all the big questions.
This is your version of daffodils. Why rabbits?
But why rabbits, no.
Wherefore hares?
So is it just... I'm going to say that thing that comedians say when a joke doesn't work. Just me, then?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was normal.
I've never heard that.
I thought it was a middle-class thing. I thought it was the sort of thing that the children in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe would have done.
Again, you looked at me and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, okay.
And I can
have to look at you occasionally.
I know. I can exclusively reveal that didn't happen in our class.
Okay.
Check the whole...
Thank you for your inquiries, though, at this time.
But it's March.
Oh, it is March.
I find astonishing.
Oh, what's gone quick?
Well, it was only a couple of months ago I was refusing to sing Auld Lang Syne on the strength of the independence vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, here we are.
Yeah.
You know, they say, someone told me there is a sort of an age chemical that makes the year go quicker, seem to go quicker.
Is that right?
Well, my year used to be like, when you take a dog for a walk and it wants to wee on every lamppost, it keeps stopping. It's a real, come on. It used to be like that. Now it's like falling down a lift shaft.
Right. Yeah.
Something must have changed.
And it's that drug you've taken, is it?
I'm taking the age chemical.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, my thing about the Frank Skinner effect, when you stand on the beach and look at the sea, and it looks like you're moving and the sea's standing still.
Oh, yeah.
And I said no one's really talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I could call it the Skinner effect.
Yeah.
Turns out that Euclid discussed it, I think 400 years before Christ.
Spoiler alert. I haven't read any Euclid.
I hate to start the show on a downer.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Texts are coming in on 8, 12, 15. This is an exciting moment here. Okay, we've got Emily with the text. Emily?
I'm rendered speechless at how horrible this radio show became briefly.
You haven't been rendered for ages.
598 said, white rabbits, white rabbits, white rabbits is the term, I believe.
That's what you say.
That's from Mike in Sevenoaks. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. I know that you've read that. That's good luck for the whole show.
There you go. 665, on an entirely different subject.
That's next door to Catherine Jenkins.
Frank, do you think Ray Winston has become too Cockney? Extraordinary question.
I know what they mean, though. I think you've got to be careful when you discover what they want, as it is, in the entertainment industry, not to give them too much of it.
That's all you give them.
And I think they probably really want him to be, it was like ancient Rome. And one day I'll think, you know what, I'm thinking I'm getting a bit fed up of the Cockney thing. No, I think, it's like, it's the Ozzy Osbourne thing. You can be too Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
I can't help but doubt it when I see Ray Winston doing all that geezer thing of, I'm a geezer, I'm a real East End guy, and I think, you're a child actor, you've mixed with people with pince nez all your life, you've never...
Really, pince nez?
Don't you think?
Oh, lovely.
They're the people that he surrounded himself with, not like proper East End...
He's destroyed his adenoids, he's had his nose blocked.
Maybe,
when you say they're the people, you are referring to me. Thank you.
You're from those classes, aren't you?
Leave it!
It ain't worth it.
Anyway, I
saw him... You need to say, he's not worth it, the cockerel.
I saw him at the Royal Court playing a part of a sort of strange man who lived in a cold climate. And he wasn't... I don't remember him being very cockney then. He was absolutely excellent. So there's more to Ray Winston.
You've just got to be careful. Don't overdo it on the old coats with the velvet collar. Because then you'll never be able to wear anything else.
Well, I said this to Shawadi Wadi. They laughed in my face. Anyway... So, I'll tell you what I am enjoying, though.
What?
Oh, Fleming.
Oh.
You know I have had a bad cold.
Got a bit of guitar.
No. On Sky...
Is that your new hobby?
On Sky, there's a programme about Ian Fleming.
Oh, yeah.
As you know, he's a friend of the family.
Biopic, we like those,
It's a bio-series. Yeah, I'm waiting to see who plays my mum. Some of you will know my mum was his cleaner on GoldenEye in Jamaica.
No, she wasn't.
You know what? You've stumbled on a recently learned Alan Cochrane fact.
What's that?
I think it was a week ago I read and had a sort of a eureka moment that he wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Never knew that.
Correct.
Could not believe that.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those things that I knew and forgot.
I've got to be honest.
Have I done that thing?
No.
Well, to me, that's a little bit Big Mo is Gary Oldman's sister.
Well,
I think it was not.
Think it's
really? Like finding out that Enid Blyton wrote The Bourne Identity to me. It was amazing.
Enid Blyton wrote The Bourne Identity?
No, but it was like that.
You see, now I've had one of those moments. It's been snatched away
People
from
pulling
me.
their cars over. Did you know that? No, that was just something I made up that was an equivalent.
Anyway, the odd thing about... You know, I was talking about the Musketeers the other week.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't like it because there was too many romps.
You don't like a romp, Frank?
I don't want any...
Changed.
I don't want any bedroom things.
The voice of prudishness.
It's not prudishness, it's just, it's boring. But
he doesn't say that...
it is. You know what I mean?
He just doesn't like to watch it.
No, right. I just don't... It never adds anything to me. But there's a lot of it in Fleming. But I sort of thought, he wrote the James Bond books. Fair enough. It's research.
Yeah.
I don't mind it so much. But I am really waiting till he gets out of the Secret Service and starts becoming an author when that... Basically, I'm thinking that's enough espionage. Let's do some typing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of typing.
Typing, that's what I want to watch on this show.
But you see, what worries me a bit about this, Frank, my fear of biopics is the sort of knowing autobiographical moment. You've talked about this, like in the Beatles film, when they say, so is there someone, I don't know, I would worry about the name, someone booking, even being in a restaurant or something, someone booking a table. My name, Goldfinger. Oh, that would worry me.
Well, there is a bit of, he writes a report for his superior officer in naval intelligence, and he says, well, this is a real page-turner, Fleming. I think you're in the wrong job. And you do think... but maybe somebody said that to him. John Lennon's auntie did, so he claims, say to him, get rid of the guitar, it'll never get you anywhere.
Yeah, but if someone answers the phone and says, hello, Kensington 007, I'll kill myself.
Well, that's a bit over the top. You're not even watching it. That means I have to watch it. I have to phone you and tell you that this has happened in the knowledge that it'll lead to your demise. I just feel that I've got a lot laid on me. Do you know what I mean?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've had a few texts in. You know, you announced the number as 8, 12, 15.
Has it worked?
In your J.R. Hartley way, yeah. They've responded.
We would have more. People they're not that quick with a pencil and paper.
One of my favourites.
I love the idea that people still use pencil and paper.
I used to say that at telly, we're going to just go and get a pencil and paper before we give you the number.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Re Fleming. I think all texters should begin us with a re now, because we have such strands. It'll be quite fun, won't it? We'll have stuff like Re A. Houseman, just Glasnost.
What did you say?
A. Houseman. Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry, I sprung that on you, didn't I?
You're released.
New listeners, feel free to be confused. That was the A.E. Houseman alarm.
Yep.
It only goes off the first time you mention it on the show.
Re Fleming. Last week someone said License to Kill. So that's...
Yes,
that's
they do.
out.
That is true. But I'm
says,
thinking he might have got... Yeah, you're right.
That would have been immediate switch off for me.
Now he says, and Frank, I think you'll be disappointed.
And Frank, she wasn't in it.
She might have been, you just didn't see her.
I could hear footsteps.
Yeah. In fact, everyone off stage in anything is Anne Frank.
Okay.
And Frank, I think you'll be disappointed as it's the last episode next week. Not much time to get the writing in.
Oh, Frank.
There isn't much time, but it's suited me. Because I'm down to my last bottle of non-alcoholic wine.
Are you?
And I do find I like a glass of wine with my Fleming. It makes me feel like I'm in the Secret Service in the 1940s.
Are you still working your way through that wine, despite finding out there was...
Well, it's a shame to waste it. That's the way I see it.
Like waste.
Oh, going back to the old 80s way of thinking, I see.
As Pete Doherty once said to me when he was trying to get clean, seems a shame to waste this, though. And then, you know where we were.
Frank, Kareem has tweeted us.
Oh, yeah.
I get to listen live this morning on my FedEx route. Oh, it might be something for me. Long-time listener, first time whatever you call it. How do I get my number? Well, we should explain, shouldn't we, Frank?
Yeah, it's not a deli counter.
No.
Kareem.
Cashier number 4, please.
Did you not see that ticket on the...
Cashier number 7, please.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? You know, I met the man who does that voiceover.
You didn't?
Yeah. He was on Room 101, actually, I think.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, that's where I met him.
Alan Dedicoat, that one.
Is that his name?
It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyone that gets paid for doing things like that, you know the name of.
It's great that, yeah, exactly.
We should say what Kareem is referring to is the prisoner number at the end of a missive.
Yes. What it is that we read out the last 3 numbers of their phone number. Gareth started it back in the Gareth days. Sorry to bring this up,
yeah.
It's fine.
It's like talking about an ex. It's
I think he just couldn't bother with the names.
It's really fine.
Yeah. But Kareem, I don't have your number because you tweeted, so call me.
Here we go.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
Call 476. Hi, Frank and team. I've got a total mind blank on the name of the England manager. I've refused to Google thus far.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
No.
I know it's Roy, but I can only think of Roy Walker. It's driving...
Roy Slow Talker Walker.
It's driving me crazy. Am I allowed to ask other people for help under your rules? That's Emma 476.
No.
What do you advise?
What it's all about, Emma, it's in your brain. All you've got to do is keep opening drawers. You could try going away from it, coming back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's so well known that you're liable to see it in the newspaper, something would be frustrating. I believe, Emma, that you will come up with it before the end of this show, and when you do, please text us and let us know, and we can celebrate.
Okay.
The problem is, with the looking in drawers analogy that you've made, is that, like, when you've lost something, like car keys...
It's a bit filthy.
That you keep going back to the same place even though you know it's not there. So your mind will keep going back to Roy Walker even though you know Roy Walker is not the answer.
Well, shall I get rid of the Roy Walker thing by telling a Roy Walker story?
If you want.
Roy Slow Talker Walker.
Do you want to check it first?
No, it's absolutely fine.
Okay, it's fine.
He told me that he was at the BBC with Eric Morecambe. They were in that. They were waiting for the lift to arrive. And this was at the time, it was in the 70s, and it was when Michael Parkinson was a bit of a man-about-town super cool dude.
Oh, turning up in an E-Type?
So turning up in an E-Type, exactly. And the E-Type, that's a phrase that's changed its meaning, isn't it? Anyway, they were waiting for the lift. The doors opened, and there was Michael Parkinson in a full-length black leather coat. Full-length black leather coat and a black leather cap, matching black leather cap. And
was he on his way to fire?
And Eric Morecambe said, "Hello, Parky. Have you come as a wallet?" Oh, we still miss him.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
A lot of discussions we're having this morning about what people get paid, which I'm enjoying. Frank, do you remember we had some...
Off air.
Off air, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you remember someone texted in, not long ago, so I feel confident you will remember...
Okay, don't get too confident. Carry
saying
on.
they didn't understand what the number was. I'm not mentioning this person's name for a reason.
Okay.
Because they have texted in their 3-number moniker.
I can remember their name.
Monica.
What was it?
Kareem. Because
Okay.
it reminded me of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who fought Bruce Lee in the film.
Well, we've just
It reminded me of Crunchy Kareem,
we've had a text in
the donut magnet. Mm-hmm. Carry on.
saying it's 316. It's pronounced Karim, not Kareem.
I don't
I'm
think...
sorry to hear that.
Hold it. It's written, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're giving it quite a bit of... Oh, it's pronounced Kareem. I mean, it might just be... Oh, you know... It's pronounced Kareem. It might be all friendly.
Unless
Kareem, not in a real sort of, I'm texting you anyway, otherwise I wouldn't mention it. But it's Kareem, just correct. Don't worry about it, because I want my number to be used now.
Okay.
But with
unless
you,
unbeknown to
look,
us.
if you're going to read my name, I mean, it's open to interpretation.
One thing I'm renowned for is interpretation of tone.
I want to know if he's texted you and put in brackets, read with heavy signing voice, close brackets, and you just haven't told me and Frank
Is that the most female thing I've ever done?
Well,
it's up there.
Well, women do that. I'm sorry, I'm allowed to make that generalisation like terrible old club comic.
you see my...
thing about women, what they do is...
Women do this, men do that.
Yeah.
That's why text relationships are so difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
Listen, when I get text, I always assume the worst tone.
Do you really?
Yeah. So if someone's saying, OK, call you later, I assume, OK, call you later.
Is this
Honestly.
actually the worst hope for the best scenario?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I am going to start putting stage directions in.
Yeah.
And if there's no...
Sotto voce.
You sent me a lovely text the other day, but I couldn't find the kiss. And what you've done is you've done a kiss in the middle, but
Yeah.
then you've done a PS.
Yes.
And so I assumed there was no kiss. And I thought, what a lovely text. And I thought, well, why did he choose not to put a kiss on that?
Did it look
Well,
like
I've got
the
a cold
first
sore.
part?
What if I'd put in bracket, sorry about no kiss, got a cold sore? That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start giving stage directions. I'm going to put warmly affectionate but with edge before I start mine.
On everything.
Yeah, not on everything. I'm not always warmly affectionate.
Just keep the edge.
Just FYI, all the men out there, I am. What about when you put CC instead of kiss kiss? Oh, that's awful.
Well, I've often... in fact, I texted Daisy the other day and then texted back to confess that it wasn't supposed to end C, it was supposed to end with a kiss.
Oh, it's
And
awful.
I'd made the most terrible fool of myself.
Yeah.
Why don't they give X a bit of space there on there? They know it's the most significant of the texting letters because it involves the kissing or not kissing. Just, give us a bit of thumb room, for goodness sake. I'm saying thumb room, I actually use my index finger, but I'm just
you don't.
I'm just trying to sound you.
We could get you one of those phones with the big buttons if you want. Will that help?
Oh, the ones Roger Moore has.
No, I'm going to start using one. Those sorts of pencil things that people have that they use. I'm going to get one of them. What do they call those?
I think pencil things.
They've got a special name.
Equipment for idiots?
8, 12, 15. What do they call those things that you use to press the keyboard with if you can't press
Start your text with those pencil things.
Yes. With edge.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We've had... well, I can't even begin to count the amount of texts and emails and misses we've had in telling us the name of what you call that stick thing.
The pencil.
Oh, no, but hold on a minute. This is a dilemma that I was speaking to the lady that couldn't remember the England manager's name.
Yeah.
If you tell me now, I've sort of Googled it.
Yeah.
Don't I have to remember it?
You have to remember
sure
it.
It isn't called that stick?
No.
Is it like
So you opening the drawers in your head now?
Yeah, I am, which is difficult when you're trying to all
We should say, Frank has referred to it as that pencil thing and that stick thing.
Yeah, but
can I just say we've had a massive volume of texts about it, but many of them have put in their own stage directions as well, which is great. Left eyebrow raised and woody undertones is one of them. Stage direction palm face from Helen, which I think is that.
118 says with a knowing smile. What about 587 enthusiastic yet anxious?
Oh dear, story of my personal life.
Somebody's given us the plural, which derives
Stylus.
from Latin.
Yeah!
Stylus!
Oh, there you go.
Yeah!
Got a bit Stuart Pearce in here.
No, I'll tell you what it's gone. It's gone a bit ice from a length.
Yeah.
It's
what it's
styli-
gone.
And styli is the plural.
You
Is
know
it?
what?
I think he's going to struggle to stylus this out.
Talk about
that's
you've
for sure.
embarrassed yourself.
This is marvellous. I could have danced all night.
This is genuine joy.
That moment when you remember. Now, the lady who texted in about the England manager, she's moving towards that moment.
Yeah, just think you could be doing this to yourself.
Can you give me a break?
Yeah.
I'm going to just leave you all alone for a sec while I bask.
You're listening to the Frank Skinner podcast from Absolute Radio. Want your Frank fix a little sooner? Listen live every Saturday from 8 a.m. on Absolute Radio. Across the UK on digital radio, mobile apps, and in London and the South East on 105.8 FM.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text us on 8 12 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the Absolute Radio website direct.
And indeed, they have been texting
Yes.
us. We've got various strands running from the previous hour of
I haven't.
of broadcast
Speak for
broadcasting.
yourself. You are a do you know Alan's a jellyfish? That's why you said that.
I think one of the more pressing ones is 476, also known as Emma.
Oh, Emma, she's remembered.
Thanks for the advice, Frank. It worked. It's Roy Hodgson.
Yes.
What I like is that she told me as if I didn't know either.
Exactly. And then goes on to say, I feel so much better now. Brackets, stage direction, read out with relieved sigh. I feel so much better now. That's how I should have read it.
And do you remember, how could you forget, Karim?
Yes.
Or is it Kareem? Oh, no. No, it's Karim. Or is it Kareem?
Are you winding him up now? Are you deliberately
I
winding
genuinely
him up?
can't remember.
By
I'm
the
going to
way,
call him K. I'm calling him K.
Sunita is going on a 2-man mission to Mars with someone else. Never mind. I was going to say.
Strangest thing you've ever said in
I
your
was
whole life.
Is there a joke?
I was working towards relieved sigh about Simon Cowell, but it collapsed. A terrible start to the hour.
I still don't get it. I don't know what you're doing.
Because Simon Cowell would be relieved if Sunita went on a 2-man mission to Mars with Talisa.
You know what I liked about
for
that?
example, or Cheryl Cole.
Why are you still doing this?
Complicated, isn't it?
Because what I'm doing is, you know when you see those World War II films when there's people picking about in the rubble, looking to see if there's any of their belongings left that they can salvage. That's what I'm doing.
You're returning to the scene of the joke that didn't work. It reminds me of, who is that man who used to do the autopsies with the hat? It's what he does, poking about when he's got no business.
Oh, Von Hagens.
Yes, you were a fan, I seem to recall.
Yes, he was. I went to one of his dead body exhibitions.
Yeah, well, that's what you just did with that joke.
You're right, okay.
Okay, so Kareem...
I've been grounded into the dirt ground. Carry on.
Kareem, K, I'm calling him K. K just said, I feel like I'm famous now. Frank's take on events was correct. No malice intended.
See?
Oh, right.
No malice intended, surely.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I knew.
Yeah.
But you have to put your poison in these people.
Oh yeah, I'll always put my poison in these people.
And just one more text to keep the going. Oi, you didn't read my number out. Stage direction, exasperated disappointment. That's from Helen, 766. But you could have put it in the text, Helen, if you wanted me to say 766.
Oh, well, that's not the rules.
Well, that's what many people do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
688, who I love, says, I'm the same, Em. I always expect the worst tone from texts. The fewer the exclamation marks, the moodier the sender. Surprise, surprise, I'm a 16-year-old girl loving the show.
This is all very well, but what you're encouraging indirectly, I warn you now where this will go.
All right, Nostradamus.
People will start thinking, oh, I don't want anyone to think I'm being a bit off here. I know. I'll put a smiley face on the end. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, people doing that? No. No, get out. Well, it's not the end of the show.
Can I just say, when you're communicating with...
When I'm communicating, yeah.
Let's call them the younger generation... 25-year-old men, they tend to use, when they communicate with me, they tend to use emoticons a lot.
Yeah, but I don't like emoticons.
Yeah, but I like the men.
I like the ambiguity of the text. That's what I like.
Okay.
You all right with it?
Yeah, we can live with it.
Okay. Shall I play?
Well, you can, but guess what?
Music? What?
Thea Shakir wants to know. I'm really curious about what car the Cockerel bought. Oh. FYI, I drive a 20-year-old BMW 3 Series worth about £300 on a good day.
Wow. I drive a BMW 3 Series.
It's not worth...
I've forgotten what it was, but now he said 3. I know a few times I've said to professional drivers, when they say, what do you drive? I say, a BMW Series 3.
You do.
They look at me like...
like it's Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah, like his contract with a 3 Series option that I bought from the car.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Oh, something that we haven't talked about. David Cameron's Knickknacks. Did you see...
his underwear?
You know what, they're a good band, but...
no, there was that photograph. You know, they sometimes do that with Downing Street, with the private quarters. So David Cameron had Angela Merkel in this week, didn't he?
Oh, yeah,
he did.
And there was a picture of her on his sofa. Very expensive sofa, that one. It's a lovely one.
Is it?
Nice. Is it a mustardy one?
I couldn't see it. It was obscured by Angela Merkel.
And it showed all his books. Now, that's my favourite thing. I love seeing the fixtures and fittings.
Well, I love it. I love looking at people's bookcases. If I go to someone's house, I will get up and go and have a proper look, and you can tell they start apologising.
Yeah.
For, that one wasn't. That was a gift. And all that. It's usually Andy McNabb. They apologise.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
hardback Andy McNabb.
Have you got an Andy McNabb? You laughed a bit guiltily. He has.
I've probably got Bravo 20 somewhere in there.
Have you?
Yeah, probably.
In the same way I probably got Bridget Jones. Although that was a very good book, I thought.
Really good.
He's got the Ginger Pig Meat book.
Okay.
Mick Hucknall. The River Cottage Every Day.
Yeah.
George Michael. Do we have to do a name? Do we have to do a celebrity for every one of these books? Let's set ourselves an impossible task.
Thing is, I don't believe this. All these cookbooks.
I know. I think he confessed.
No, all these.
He actually wrote a song about it.
No, I think if you've got Angela Merkel coming round, then you're going to change. You know, you're going to take Alan Bullock's "Hitler: A Study in Tyranny." That's going to come out of the book. Can you put that in the kitchen, Sam?
You're not going to have Mein Kampf in there.
No, you're not going to have anything that might upset her at all.
The abs diet.
No, she wouldn't like that.
Oh, that's there.
That's just rubbing her nose, isn't it?
That was there.
That was there. Yeah. He had the abs diet.
The abs diet was in the background.
He was hoping she'd say, "Oh, can I borrow it?"
Oh, imagine that.
But that's who Frank most wants to look like, abs.
Oh, that's
Remember
true.
From Five?
That's true, yeah.
I hope that's not
book?
I don't think it... No, can you imagine...
That's his autobiography title, that would be...
What's their diet book?
Really
We've
good.
run out of royalties. The record company dropped us diet.
Oh, poor abs.
No, excuse me, don't say poor abs.
What
They saw me and they judged me. Remember that? I told you.
True.
They said, actually, no.
If I was, the great thing if you were abs, if your smartphone broke down, still have something to read. You could read your arms.
Oh, yeah.
If you were waiting for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought it was it's always a brave move, though. I do feel sorry for Cameron with that, because people will be analysing. People like yourself, Frank.
I think they should enjoy that people are analysing it. He should have just had in the background of the sort of photograph, just like overcoming anxiety, a guide to public speaking, feel the fear and do it anyway, the Crusades, soon sees the art of war. He should have just gone...
If he'd have had the Crusades, that would have caused a stir.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he has got.
What?
A classic for people who aren't interested enough in books to fill a small bookcase. He had some DVD box sets. Filling up the space. Oh, come on.
Haven't got enough books.
This is the Prime Minister. He can't think of enough books he wants to read to fill.
You think?
And also, what is this thing when he says... The tweet that he sent, and I've invited...
he's not a man of letters, David Cameron.
No, but he says, I've invited him round to my Downing Street flat.
Yeah.
Is that not the family home, the Downing Street?
No, they live in number 11, which has a bigger apartment than number 10.
11, isn't that George Osborne's house?
No, because it's bigger. They live in the apartment in number 11, but the apartment is above the...
It's an old
house,
arrangement.
I'm led to believe.
He hasn't got a pretend bachelor flat like he's pretending he's still single, like Marie Antoinette pretending she was a dairymaid in the grounds of Versailles.
No, I don't believe so. She's still got it, Sam Cam.
I don't think it's very like that.
No need with a wife like that.
I found the whole thing, I don't know. I don't like two people sitting on a sofa talking like that, because they're obviously natural.
Did you ever see Unplanned?
No, but but Unplanned, no. We didn't talk to each other that much. We spoke out, and that's their inclination is to look out. But I felt they had to look at each other to show that we were at war.
I didn't like her shoes either.
They were all twisted round.
I know it's trivial, and she does some fine work, but I don't like the shoes.
Yes. If you're in a car, it's all right, because you've got somewhere to look forward. On a sofa, no.
You think they should have gone for a drive together?
That would have been... Yeah, that would have been great. Bit of privacy.
Him and her in his Series 3 should have liked that, German.
Especially if you'd have had David and Angela on the Sun Strip. Or, better still, Britain and Germany on the Sun Strip. Excellent.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're talking about David Cameron's bookshelf and the contents thereof.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
I think that... have you seen that phenomenon on the internet called the shelfie? When people do a selfie of them standing in front of their own bookcase.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that in those instances, they must have moved a few about and thought, I'll take that one out.
Yeah.
You're going to do an edit,
definitely.
aren't you?
Oh, I do a Watergate sweep before I've got people coming over.
Watergate sweep, yeah.
That's what I do.
One of the less successful poppets.
Yes, the very political version.
Very heavily political. And also, suddenly, like, really bad edits in the middle of this talk, so there's something missing. Yeah, I think people do. I think people take out their embarrassing books.
I do. Especially if I have a man, because I've got to get rid of all the self-help. It's so off-putting, isn't it? You can't have men who hate women and the women who love them.
Yes.
Is that a real book?
With the scented candles.
But you see, there is a time...
You know?
There is a time when men would deliberately have men are from Mars, women are from Venus, to make it look like they were at least trying.
Yeah.
That would work. If someone had that, I'd probably go first date, if you know what I mean. If I saw that on the shelves.
Where would you
it would speed things up.
Let's say me and you had just met in a... I don't know, let's say
in a chat room.
Let's say a brasserie.
A wine bar.
Yeah.
A bistro.
You're on the non-alcoholic.
And I took
Emily's
you back,
on a glass of
I
Chardonnay.
took you back to my apartment. And I had 50 Shades of Grey in it. What would you think I need to get out of here fast?
I think you might be gay.
Would you?
I think it's quite a camp thing to have in your shelf.
Perhaps she didn't hear me. I said 50 Shades of Grey. If I had 50 Shades of Gay in my bookshelf, I think that would be fair enough.
I just think it's quite a camp, girly thing to have.
Okay.
I don't know. Either that or, it wouldn't bother me.
I haven't got it. Can I point that out?
No. It wouldn't distress me. I feel it was quite mass market and quite vanilla, to be honest.
I think if you came round, the only book I'd be really ashamed of...
Would be what?
In my bookcase would be...
Down and Out in Paris and London.
No, I'm happy with that. It'd be the biography of Simon D.
Oh,
because it's your book and I haven't returned it to you.
That would be awful.
That would be the only problem I'd have.
I'm glad you've mentioned the self-improvement reading, though, because I think, maybe doing the most boring...
Sort of something. If I come up with a book telling you how to do really good photos of yourself, could I call it selfie improvement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, I'm writing it down.
Get that down.
Let's do that for Christmas.
It's been a heady morning for me, what with the Stylus thing.
Were you doing... I was going to say, on the cover of that, can you do your traditional punching gesture?
Okay, I'll do that.
That's what I want.
Can I say that after I got the Stylus answer, I built on the desk a pyramid of wine glasses and poured a bottle of non-alcoholic wine on the top, so they all filled up. It was really wonderful.
It was really glamorous.
Yeah. See, 3 weeks ago I've had to have done that with Bovril. So thank God for non-alcoholic wine.
I think I may be indulging in some of the most boring self-improvement reading ever. Right now, I'm in the middle of a book called Lasker's Manual of Chess. I'm reading. Is that? I mean, both of you look like. Oh God, that is boring.
But that was guilt, that film, because as you know, 2 years ago, I think my New Year's resolution was to learn chess, and it hasn't happened.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll race through Lasker's Manual, and then I'll lend it to you. It begins in his, I think it's his 5th language, and it begins something like that. I wrote this book, yay, I wrote it with joy, and then something else, and you think,
very good use of yay.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
What about Inside the Minds of Angry Men? I love that book.
Have you got that?
Yeah, I've got that.
Do you think when
I wrote that?
when Inside the Minds of Angry Men, was it more topical than a knife blow?
Yes, I know. I understand that.
I'm just thinking, if when the Cockerel offered to loan me Lasker's
Manual of Chess,
with that little twinkle in his eye, could it have possibly been a knight's move?
Whoa!
And also, what is Lasker's porn name?
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
Mere moments ago, before that, you did a couple of chess-based puns.
I did.
And I predicted straight after, we'll now have, we'll be inundated with chess-based puns. 131, who's one of our regular, keenest punners, has immediately texted, did you check it out of the library, Alan? Meaning Lasker's Manual of Chess. Did you check it out? Good work,
mate.
Yes.
546. I once took my full set of Doctor Who Target books off of my bookshelf when an ex-girlfriend was coming round for the first time. I feel dirty for having done it.
You do. And so you should.
I'm trying to work out if that would put me off. If I saw...
Well, it would put some people off.
I don't think
you're always very anti-Who. You think it would put you off?
Well, no, but I think at least it would hint at a passion of some sort.
Yes.
Which I would prefer to no books.
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about 50 Shades of Gallifrey?
514 has texted, morning folks, for 4 years I've had a tagine sitting in my kitchen. I've yet to use it. Can you enlighten me to the wonders of this implement?
Is it like a stew pot thing?
A stew pot, yeah.
You remember stew pot?
Yeah, stew pot. He went to my drama school.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark, if you're listening.
Hi, stew pot.
I haven't heard of stew pot for years. He's obviously one of the lucky ones. He kept his nose clean, good man.
I believe it's like a clay oven, isn't it? With
exactly.
a sort of a hood.
You get it in Moroccan restaurants.
Yeah,
my brother-in-law made me one.
He made you a tagine?
He made me a tagine, yeah. He really loves me.
Well, the people in my life I really love, but I wouldn't know where to start if I wanted to make them a tagine. And I know you can't tell me where to
start. It started with a kiln, I believe.
Because I am the man.
I love that song.
Let's not forget, I'm the man who... Sorry, I'm just going to stop.
Go on then.
Sorry.
Are you doing a terrible joke again?
No.
Go on.
I was going to talk.
He sounded 5 years old. No.
Get it out your system. Go on.
No, I was just going to...
Come on.
Hark back to when I did a voiceover for an advert at the beginning of my career. And it was, don't know where to start, Exchange of Malt.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's not good enough. I want to know the exact tone of voice. You know tone is everything to me. How did you say it? So
I don't know, Tony. Is he everything to you?
You be the man. Okay, Frank, let's go. Okay, Frank.
Don't know where to start? Exchange in Mart.
That's great, Frank. Sounded a bit toppy. Can we do one more?
Yeah, sorry, can I just have a drink of water? Calvin, can you hear me? Yeah, can I just have another drink thanks.
Calvin!
Hold on. Don't know where to start. Exchange and Mart.
That's great, Frank. I love the laughter in your voice there.
Is that all right?
Yeah, let's go with that one.
I thought I'd give it a try and see how that works.
Sounded very blokey.
Do you want me to do another one for
Let's
safety?
do one more for safety.
Okay. Do you know where to start? Exchange and Mart!
Okay, you sound a bit unwell there, Frank.
No, I just thought... I just want to give you the option.
No, let's not do Unhinged.
Okay. Could I have just a break, just for...
Sure.
Okay. Don't know where to start. I'm just trying a few. Just trying a few in the... sorry, you getting that? I'm just trying to...
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We have some texts, Frank. 418, we've been talking a lot about trying to remember things and obviously not Googling. Lisa says, morning Frank and co, useful tip, whenever I can't remember a name, I go through the alphabet in my head, confirming names for each letter. It works every time. Lisa, I do exactly the same thing, and it works every time. If there's a man I dated and I'm trying to remember, I just go through.
Well, I've tried that method. It doesn't work for me.
Does it not?
Because don't you find you're saying, it's Susan something. Susan, it begins with J. Susan, not J. Paula Abdul. That's how it always works for me. So
that's not how my mind works in a slightly more efficient way.
It's useful, isn't it?
Frank.
Yes.
You two okay?
268 says, great show as usual. Oh, sorry, some praise slipped out. I'm sorry.
No.
I do get the feeling that I'm listening to the voices of creature comforts at times. Just an observation.
Well, if that's it, they should have put that on radio. Think of the money they'd have saved on plasticine.
Yeah.
Hang on. Does that mean that I'm the voice of an animal?
You do sound very creature comforts, Alan, don't you think?
Hey, we were talking earlier about books and reading.
Oh, yeah.
Also on the Cameron bookshelves were some children's books, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, was it?
I read to
You know what was the giveaway that was a phony? They were on the top shelf. They wouldn't have been able to reach them.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Unless there were the special ones that only the adults could read to the children in case the kids wreck them. That's another option.
Oh, the pop-ups.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But I read to my son and daughter, and I use them as an opportunity to play outside of my casting bracket. It's quite good fun.
Oh, that's good, Al.
I'd love to hear your Cinderella.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And sometimes, if I'm doing the roll dart, we've just finished the BFG, sometimes I'll be quite the Queen's voice is in there quite a lot.
I bet you're good at that.
I can't even remember what I did for her, but I do.
Sure you can. You just don't want to do it unpaid, on air, am I right?
That's the critical detail. I mean, I don't get the kids to pay me to read the stories at home either.
Not really?
However frugal you think I am.
I find you do tend to get reviews, though.
Yeah,
I was sitting in a book...
Absolutely.
I sat in a bookshop the other day with my son, Boz, and I was reading him. He'd get a book off the shelf, and I'd start reading it, and 2 pages in, he'd go, no. And he'd just take it off me and put it back on the shelf. I thought, what a vicious book critic he would make.
Like he's in 5. No.
Actually, no.
What was that?
That was what 5 said to me when they saw me.
I can't believe
they looked at me,
brought that up.
gave me the once-over. Actually, no.
He gave you a onesie?
Are you saying they put you back on the shelf?
Frank Skinner
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
I was talking about reading books with... my son is called Bars.
Oh, yeah.
I get up... I've had the monitor this week, so I've been getting up with him at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the dawn chorus is in full flow. So I do... I've been going... doing some impressions of the birds, and he joins in, but he can't whistle because he's only 22 months. So he goes doo 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 doo.
Oh.
It's not very accurate, but I like that he's joining in. But
Points for effort.
I think my bird impressions they're getting better.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I said if I gargle for a week, I got better. It starts to make me think I can do anything. And I wondered if there's any of our listeners in that, can you do a course, do you think, on bird call, so that you could reproduce bird call? Do you think you could have lessons?
I think it's a fairly oddie request.
As long as it's cheap, I don't mind.
Very good.
And my speciality...
What's that?
Woodpecker.
Oh.
Can I just say, that's a marvellous speciality.
Thank you very much. It's one of the easier ones, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But
I've got contacts in the RSPB. I say I've got contacts. I was a member when I was 12. So I'll see what I can do.
I'm genuine. I would like to get good at it.
You know what they do, because we've got one of, is they do a sort of a stuffed bird, like a little teddy, and when you squeeze it, it gives the right bird call for that bird. So you could just buy the full range and echo it.
You make me sick.
Echo it.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Text the show on 8 12 15 or follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email us through the Absolute Radio website. It truly is.
Your impersonations of birds.
Yes.
We've had a couple of texts on 8, 12, 15. Paul has texted, Frank, you need the Birds of Britain app. Photos and calls. It's great.
Oh, yeah, but does it actually give you...
The Birds of Britain, I'm in that.
Does it give
That's
you...
the calendar, isn't it?
I'm definitely in that.
That would have been a calendar, wouldn't it? If there'd been a garage in the Lightning Lads.
I would have loved
what
it.
it would have
If
been
I'd have been in the Birds of Britain, I'd be so happy.
But that'd be that's a start. It's certainly a start. But I need someone who's saying just get your tongue a bit further back. You sound more like a corn crake than a hoopoo.
A somewhat pedantic text from 580 has texted, Frank, you would need to knock on the table 20 times a second for it to be a realistic impression of a woodpecker.
Yes, but that was a
Good
replay.
knowledge.
It wasn't live. It was
slowed down?
It was a slow-mo replay.
Like Bruce Lee in a film.
Yeah.
That's what they used to say.
That was the whole thing of it. Also, I can see myself not only entertaining my son, but maybe I could become a sort of Dr. Dolittle figure and actually communicate. I'm not saying...
What would you say?
I'm not going to go so far as to mate, but I'm on about just to actually speak to the... But I don't want Ranulph Fiennes coming around my house and smashing the place up.
Oh, I do. I love this conversation, but there's not enough of me in it, so...
Are you aware of the fact that Ranulph Fiennes smashed up the Dr. Dolittle film set?
Is that correct?
He's in the SAS or something, was he, Ranulph Fiennes?
Oh, I love that he was in the SAS.
Yeah, he smashed up the film
Any
set.
SAS guys out there?
Why
Hi.
did he do that? What kind of wanton destruction was that?
He said he's crazy.
He was a crazed madman. You know that second take of Frank doing the Exchange and Mart?
Yeah.
He was like that.
Oh,
I think his
dear.
mental state was along those lines.
Here's a question for you. The Horse Whisperer, is that a pun?
Yeah.
On
It
what?
is.
On
Okay.
what?
The Horse Whisperer. There you go.
No, it's not.
Horse.
It must be, hadn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. I just
No,
said
it's
yes 'cause I
not.
thought it was fun.
I like the way Frank says it must be. The pun must always be intentional because
No, but-
everybody thinks like you.
No, but the titles of things, you'd agree, are often a pun. Wouldn't
Sometimes, but I think, no, that man who wrote that, no, we'll talk about that. He was a bit
Horse
serious and
Whisperer. It's
newsnighty.
a bit of a coincidence.
He knows David Baddiel, I think, the man who wrote that.
Really?
Yeah.
Can he communicate with him by sniffing his neck? Disgusting.
Frank, I don't want this show to end without discussing Daddy Cal.
Oh, okay. Daddy Cal, Daddy Cal. Ooh, Daddy Cal.
What about Daddy Cal this week? We are talking about Simone Cowell, who's a friend
Psycho.
of the show.
Is
And yes, I've decided,
No,
Frank.
I don't
Oh, is
think
he
he's a friend
not?
of the
Can't he
show.
be an acquaintance?
Could be an acquaintance of the show.
One night stand of the show?
His ways
Feature.
are not my ways. His thoughts, not my thoughts.
Well, what about his outfits? Are they your outfits?
Well,
Would you be wearing this?
There is something that did take me back to something I have to
Okay.
confess.
Well, should we discuss what he wore first? We'll set the
Okay.
scene. So, Daddy Cal was taking Baby Eric. I always call him Baby Eric.
Baby
I'm
Eric.
very fond of that child. Good hairline. For a stroll in the LA. It was dusk because they all had shades on. Daddy Cal.
Which is weird.
Yeah. He was wearing the high-waisted jean, which is, we know he favours.
Well,
Then he has the long boot cut to cover the lifts on the shoes. 3 inches, I've told, yeah.
Allegedly, isn't it?
Oh, is it allegedly?
Litigious about the boots.
Is he going to sue us, is he? Sue us?
He's got enough money. He could just start having novelty lawsuits to just while away his time, couldn't he?
Okay.
And with the baby mother, Lauren, and the ex-fiancé, and baby Eric, and 2 male friends. They look nice.
No, I think they were the security, weren't they?
Oh, were they security?
Well, one of them might have been the... apparently, he's hired a butler who just changes nappies. That's his total job.
No.
Yeah.
What about he's bought black leather snow boots for the dogs? Anyway, we'll get on to that.
Can I just say that's the first job I've heard about in the media that I think, I could do that. I could actually change nappies, so I can change... I've got a saleable skill, finally. It's been a long time
I'm
coming.
brilliant at changing nappies, but if he asked me, I'd say no. That's
Can
what
we
you
discuss?
should be doing.
You'd hear the
Can I
Excuse me, what about what he had on his top, Frank?
Yeah,
He had the jeans, he had the belt, and then what was on the top?
Before we get to that, I just want to make, in a way that I think the world has changed.
Okay.
In one of the Eastern monarchs in ancient times, he had a servant, and who had one job, and his job was to occasionally...
You had one job.
Occasionally stop the monarch and say to him, "Sir, one day you will die." That was his job.
That's kind of like, is that my job here?
That's the second job I've heard about that I could do.
The trouble is, he'd say, "What do you mean, die? What do you mean, die? You will die. What does that mean? You will die. Don't understand."
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We were talking about Daddy Powell. He had the jeans, Frank, the high-waisted jeans. What did he have on the top?
Well, he had a white open neck shirt.
No, he had nothing.
Oh,
he had a bare, sunburnt chest.
We're on about
with
2
the
different
jeans.
pictures, I think.
Yes.
After there was a picture of him in a white open shirt, not
Well,
tucked
that's
in.
acceptable. It was a totally sunburnt chest in the evening with jeans and a belt.
Yeah.
He looked like the Hulk. Incredible Hulk.
Yes, except he hadn't got those raggedy bottom bits on. Yes. No, I did see that, yes. I found that more... I tell you what, the white shirt, if I may just go back to that, reminded me... In the days when suntans were seasonal, rather than you got them from a shop...
Yeah.
When... I mean, I've done this, I must say. Don't you get back from holiday, usually like on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then... when you lay your clothes out for Monday morning back at work, you get every white item that you've got.
Yeah, you do.
I've gone into work in a singlet.
No.
When I've had a tan. When a tan was something special that you had to go into another country to get.
Yeah, string vest.
Yeah.
And that's what the white shirt reminded me of, because he looked like he'd properly scorched. I mean, I think that was a proper tan.
What happened, I think, not that I've been remotely forensic about this, but I think he took the white shirt off. I think it was hurting him so much. That's why he just thought, I can't bear this.
Yeah.
When the seams are at your sunburn.
Oh,
but you can't wander around like that with no top on.
But the high top jeans
not with
that
the
you
assembled
mentioned.
press of the world following you around, particularly.
I think. I don't. If you actually look and put out of your mind that Simon Cowell famously wears high-waisted jeans, I don't think he does.
I think you're incorrect.
I think we all have... it was a joke. You know, I've done this joke myself in the past. When I say in the past, I mean 10 years ago. People are still doing it. About him having high-waisted jeans. Because, you know... But I don't think... Are they high-waisted?
I'm sorry, I've got about 15 photographs on my phone.
I think it's because we want to see. It's like one of these...
No, they are high-waisted.
You know those sentences that have a word in them twice, and you read the sentence and you don't notice because your brain...
Right.
He has to do it for the extra height. He's about... anyway, we can't talk about the height because you think he's going to sue. I think...
Surely that makes him look shorter if he's only barely appearing above the top of his jeans.
You could get them really high, right up to his armpits.
Yeah, why doesn't he take the pockets out and put his arms through there? And then have the zip as a sort of open neck thing?
Step further, dungarees.
I just want... It's not a very nice... If that was it, what's the first family outing photo of you? Oh, there's Dad with his top off.
Yes.
I mean, it's horrible, isn't it?
It is a bit Vladimir Putin.
What about the dogs? Did you see Squiddly and Diddly?
Oh, the dogs.
The dogs were licking baby Eric, and he's bought them leather boots.
What, the dogs?
Yeah.
No way.
There's some creep in Camden Town.
Way. He's got the dog's boots.
It said Simon...
They've got nature's boots.
So adores the dogs, he's bought them cashmere sweaters and leather snow boots.
Oh, this reminds me of
leather snow boots on a dog?
This reminds me of the banana guard that my wife spent money on. It's got its natural guard. It's a peel, and dogs have got feet. They don't need boots.
It's almost as if he's an overage product of a superficial society. Could that be?
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I was more worried about the black shoes with jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you hate that, don't you?
I don't like black shoes. It's very Nancy Delolio. I just don't. I think that's a mistake.
I don't like a frayed bottom either.
Me neither. That's one of my rules. Oh, you mean on jeans? Oh, I see.
I like a flayed bottom, but but that's it with us in the S&M community. I think though, if you live in a warm climate, like LA, I think people dress badly in warm climates, and it's because you get people. Those moccasins without socks things that men go for.
Cowell would never do that, though, according to Emily, with his...
with the lift issue.
Can't wear a built-up moccasin, can you?
Our lawyers are watching. No, but people dress badly in warm climates, I'll give you that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What I would say is they don't go out for dinner with a jean and a belt. A black leather belt? A black leather belt, I'll say it again.
I feel
and a bare torso.
Okay.
Sunburnt torso.
Sometimes, when I'm on a dog walk with my wife and children, I will pretend to take my shirt off as people are approaching, and my wife will go, "Put that shirt back on." And I think that's what happened there. He's gone out, he's got his girlfriend and his ex, and so he's gone, "I'm going to take my shirt off," and his girlfriend has gone, "Put that shirt back on," and the ex has gone, "I think it looks all right, just keep it off if you want," and he's gone, "All right, I'm doing it."
I think he's done it, and the girlfriend's gone, and then she thought to herself, "Hold on, what am I throwing away here?" I like it, Simon, looks good.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking about that, though, when I looked at that, and I thought, well, look what she's having to do, really.
Yeah.
And then I thought, yeah, but the best position, rather than the girlfriend or baby Eric, would be one of the dogs. Simon Cowell's dogs would be a good job.
That's a nice life.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, imagine they could get trapped in his chest hair.
Well, to be honest...
And you have to wear snow leather boots.
The first thing I looked for on that shirt-off photo was belly button fluff, because if I did that, it'd look like that little bit of hamster fluff that you get. But he must have checked first before removing the shirts. I've probably got some in now. That's...
Anyway, let's talk about...
Takes me back to 1987.
Can we talk about something that isn't horrible and repulsive?
Yes. I had a terrible spot this week.
Oh.
No, I've been meaning to talk to you both about this. It was awful. Well, it was actually the tail end of last week, but it lasted so long.
I was going to say, I can't see it now.
No, not even a vestige.
That's because 3 facials, 4 masks, 2 bottles of tea tree oil I've had to put on it, and a bit of prayer, to get rid of it. Honestly.
Bit of prayer?
Yeah, a bit of prayer. I prayed. I've never prayed in my life, and I prayed.
Good for you all lot, Frank.
I'm sorry, Frank. I know you'll be upset about that.
We drag them in as best we can.
Part of the recruitment campaign.
We get a lot of teenagers.
I was thinking of ringing Frank and saying, "Will you pray for me?"
Were you?
It was so bad.
I don't know if I could have prayed for your spot to go. It doesn't seem right.
No, I thought you might bring in the rule book.
Out, damn spot. Did you ever say that?
Being a child of an actor, no.
Yes.
It was awful. I don't know where to begin.
But can I
begin at the beginning?
Can I just
begin at the sprouting?
Isn't the big plus of being a lady is if you get a facial blemish of some kind, you can cover it with makeup. Isn't that what it's all about?
Well, this is one of what we're going to get onto.
What have the men got? The Mexican wrestling mask. That's it.
Or beard, depending on where.
You've got facial hair. You can grow a beard.
Oh, God, it takes me 6 months to grow a beard.
Well, go to the joke shop and buy a false one.
Yeah.
Who's the Popeye character?
Just get a Sharpie, looking back. Or one of those Guy Fawkes masks so popular with the anarchists.
Yes.
He's got a beard already.
Yeah.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
We've had quite a few texts in about my spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which we previewed a couple of links ago.
Yes.
A couple of hours ago.
Sure.
Maybe a company could be formed to help people with their spots. It could be called Quick Zits. That's from 131.
That's why it all makes sense now.
324, I too at the age of 34 have a spot on my face that now requires its own woolly hat. Can I say I love I too at the age of 34?
Yes.
I'm just going to bank that. So we need to talk about my spot, Frank.
Yours, the Elephant
Man. It was bad. I mean, I should say I'd been feeling a bit poorly, as I believe Daisy, producer, likes to use the phrase poorly. I find it a bit Catherine Cookson novel, but anyway, each to their own.
I still say bilious.
Do you?
I felt a bit bilious, so I had to sit down.
But you know when you're poorly, sometimes the toxins come out.
Yeah.
Don't you? Because there's I had a fever, no food, a bit nil by mouth it was. Marvellous. Yes. But it means the toxins...
Every cloud.
Yeah, exactly. I was weighing myself every day.
Yeah.
But no sugar, so the toxins come out. This spot, you would have been shocked if you'd have seen it. It was so bad. It was very Google Earth Himalayas.
Oh, wow.
Well,
it was textured. It had there was all sorts going on. It was.
This is great. I love this story.
No, but it's interesting you mention the detox. I once bumped into Mel B at a do.
Oh, congratulations.
And this was in their glory days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And indeed mine. And and she was spotty to the point where I thought, I can't mention this because it's not even she's very spotty. And she said, "You're looking at me spots."
Oh,
and
I said, "Well, what spots?" Being a bit frightened.
I like that you went die over nobody. Well,
And she said, "I'm doing a detox." Honestly, it looked like she had one of as ever. She had like a leopard print top on, and it just looked like a continuation across. But and at the time I thought, well, is that true? Because would a detox cause that?
No, it
and
does.
All these years later, I've now discovered
the toxins will emerge.
She speaketh sooth, Mel
She
B.
did. It was like a joke shop spot. It was like somebody had stuck a joke shop spot.
But
it was
not
awful.
funny for you.
Not funny. So I still had the illness.
Right.
As the illness got slightly better, I then thought, well, I can't go out with the spot. What am I going to do? So it got so bad.
Can't
On
go
my
out
first
without
day
the
back
spot.
to work, I tried to cover it.
Sensible.
With
Well, you
what?
always have the decision. Do you leave
Yashmak.
Balaclava.
Do you leave the spot or do you attempt
yeah.
I can't even say the word, it makes me feel so ill.
Lance the boil.
Yes, lance the boil. Yeah.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I made an attempt.
So you always say you won't, and then you do.
I know.
Was it a disaster?
And then you try and cover it with makeup. And it's all gone a bit Rice Krispies. It's not good. I'm sorry.
No, exactly. It starts to look a volcano with the top sort of slightly dormant.
It wasn't good, Frank.
No.
I got on the tube, there was a man, honestly, I had full makeup, so the man was checking me out, and as I turned my head 45-degree angle, he went, oh.
I thought he was going to say he knocked his glasses off. Oh,
I could see him reevaluate me. I could actually see him reevaluate me. I was so stressed I could see people looking at my affliction.
Really?
By the time I got to it, I had to go for a coffee. And I went for a coffee and I sat down and thought, what am I going to do about this? 2 cancellations I had to make. I changed my whole character throughout the spot.
Blimey.
I became
you went on a witness relocation programme.
I mean, at least the Elephant Man just got on with his life.
Got a sack on the old head, didn't he?
I became a very different person, very coy, very shy, very reticent.
Oh, no, this is a terrible, sad story. Still, it makes one think about the lure of the veil.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I've really upset the boys.
Did
I'm
I
sorry.
tell you? I'm not going back to it. Did I tell...
It's just a friend of my waxer's.
Anyway, did I tell you that I went to see... I was at the doctor's once. I didn't go for this, but you see that thing I've got on my chin there?
No.
You can see that, can you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I said to him, look, I'm not really worried, but is this all right? It seems to be a bit... And he had a look, he got the microscope out and stuff. Not microscope.
Microscope.
Stethoscope.
Louis Pasteur. Is it Dr. Louis
Magnifying
Pasteur?
glass.
He got a magnifying glass out. And he said, this is
On a
what...
sunny day, was it?
He said, this is what they used to call a beauty spot.
No.
Oh, they used to. Now they call it a mole.
So I've got a beauty spot, so what does that tell you?
All right, Madame
Better if you'd used a
Pompadour.
medical term, though, wouldn't it? From a doctor. You want a doctor with a medical term, really, don't
What
you?
about when one said to me, you've got a ganglion, you need to hit it with a Bible? Are you a doctor? You're a doctor.
We haven't talked about Susanna Reid.
We can in a moment, but I feel your pain about the spots because I had some instant karma last week. My sort of sister-in-law, my brother's not married to her, but, you know, same difference. Right. And last time they stayed at ours, she left some cocoa butter in the second-floor bathroom.
What, from a spot?
Just...
real cocoa butter?
Yeah,
I thought you meant
no,
something
it wasn't
from a spot.
And I was about to leave the house last week, and I thought, I'll pop some of that on, just a bit of moisturiser. Nothing wasted. It's like when I stole the shower gel in the swimming bath.
It's not even your fragrance.
My wife and son went mad, like, I can't believe you've used her cocoa butter. Next day, rash all over my face, instant karma. Really affected it. So I feel your pain.
Karma cream.
Can I say my complexion is unblemished?
Great.
There you go.
Except for the beauty spots.
No, I've got I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost when I'm naked.
I can exclusively reveal that's true.
Slightly see-through.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We need to talk about Susanna Reid.
Yes.
This was hot news.
Is it a sad story or is it?
Well, she split up with her partner. She went a bit I Love My Curves, because they do when they do the Strictly.
They do, yeah.
And then...
At least she didn't go a bit I Love My Country. I still hope for a career.
She split with her husband, which is very sad, but her ex has gone straight on Match.com.
Yes, he's what they used to say in the Greyhound fraternity, he traps pretty fast, that guy. Because... if it's a post-Strictly split, Strictly ended, what was it, second week in December?
Yeah.
It's quick.
So to be on a dating site that quickly, that is...
I think he might be nice for me.
I think
he's an ex-sports presenter. I could throw in an Andy Impey reference.
No, but that's like saying, you know, did she say, look, I'm sorry, but it's all over? And he said, oh, OK. You don't know the Wi-Fi password, do you? You know what I mean? It was so...
It was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's gone straight to the internet. You think, first and foremost,
Men always do.
Who other than her do I fancy? There might be a waitress or someone in the school playground. He must know someone that he doesn't need to go public yet.
I know.
It's no good him thinking who the middle-aged men go on about on the internet, because that's her.
Oh, no.
So that's difficult.
I think when these people get famous, because, they will get tempted, I'm afraid. So... when they get famous, what they need to do is, like with the bank, when you arrange to have a mortgage break or just a break from your loan, I think they should have a relationship break and just say, look, for 6 months, I'll fill my boots, and then you do your thing, and then we'll get back together. Don't you think that makes sense?
Isn't the problem for the non-famous person that you do your thing means you wait for me doing nothing?
Yes.
Never troubled me.
Yes.
That's another story.
I think when... what they call Iggly and Squiggly, Simon Cowell's.
Squiggly and Diddly.
Do you think when they had a split, said, I'll fill my boots?
Because you've managed to stay in a lovely long-term relationship.
Well, we've had a lot of splits, though, on the top, during. But we have stayed. Me and Kath now have been together, if you don't count splits, and, a couple of... I was on a break! Yes, we have been together. I think
it helps that Kath was hot from the start.
Yes, but I think my secret is I try not to spend 6 hours a day with a 22-year-old Russian in a high-cut leotard.
Anymore.
It's a good rule. I
think you're right, Strictly, you really are chewing the sweet and trying not to swallow it. It's difficult.
Are you blaming the celebrity there, Frank? Because forgive the expression, but it takes two to tango.
Yes, but I'm not blaming. I'm just saying, don't, there is a reason that we pray lead us not into temptation, and it means...
Do we?
Don't do Strictly.
Put me in your bit of the Venn diagram.
They should update. The Lord's Prayer so they don't do Strictly.
Yes, there should be a Lord's Prayer. There absolutely should be.
I think the people that run Strictly should be worrying, because some of the celebs might think, I'm not doing that. Some of the long married ones might be thinking, I'm not going to. Richard and Judy, they wouldn't do it now.
You can just keep playing safe. Russell Grant.
Again and again.
No, but what about also Robin Thicke?
That was a shock.
Yeah.
He split up with long-suffering Paula Patton.
Yes.
But he said at a gig recently, he announced, I'm just trying to get my girl back. Yeah. Oh, I didn't like that. She's a good woman.
It's all very
She's got older even in that utterance. trying to get my girl back. She's a good woman. Make your mind up.
He's been bunching her, though. I noticed he sent her... Well, that's what he sent her loads of flowers. If a man does that, I know he's cheating.
But, once the Miley dance and then the photographs with women with no clothes. I mean, for good... Like, I, as a man driven insane by non-alcoholic wine and electric cigarettes, I know that casual dalliance can only lead to torment. Anyway... so the advice to our readers, don't do Strictly.
Yeah.
My voice has gone. I think it was that cheer when I got Stylus. My voice hasn't been the same since. It was worth it, though. And you know what? If the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.